Mike and Nick and Nick and Alice is a new time travel comedy movie starring James Marsden, Vince Vaughn, and Isa Gonzalez. And it is basically a movie where James Marsden is playing basically like a mob. What's the word? I can't think of the word, which kind of sucks. But basically, he's just like a guy who, like the mob or like criminals or whatever you want to call them, will tell him to take someone out and he'll do it. Hitman, got it. And Vince Vaughn plays his like boss, and Isa Gonzalez is playing James Marsden's like girlfriend, aka Vince Vaughn's wife. So gets a little weird there. But one day this Vince Vaughn from the future shows up and is kind of like, I'm from the future and I need to help you through this night. So all these different things happen. And the basic plot is that Vince Vaughn from 6 months in the future used a time travel machine to come back in time and keep James Marsden from dying. And I thought that it was a really, really, really good movie. James Marsden, I think, is a great underrated actor. Obviously, I love him as Cyclops, even though he hasn't really played him as much as you would like. After X-Men 1 and 2, he becomes basically glorified cameos in he's a glorified cameo in X-Men 3, and then in Days of Future Past, he is a cameo. Hopefully in Doomsday, he's got a good chunk of screen time. And then he's in movies like Hop. He's in Sonic. He's in a movie that I watched with my mom, 27 Dresses. But I think he's been great in everything I've seen him in, and I love his acting. And I thought in this he was great. He gets a John Wick style action scene in this, which was really cool. Just seeing James Marsden have like this cool action scene. And he can be pretty funny when he needs to be. Vince Vaughn is playing two versions of himself, and I think that's really good because I think Vince Vaughn is a great actor. And in this, obviously, he is playing two, so we get two of Vince Vaughn. He's got comedy. He's also got some dramatic moments. And I really like the way the two Vince Vaughns interact. And then you've got Isa Gonzalez, who I've only seen in Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Found in the Youth, Baby Driver, and then Godzilla vs. Kong. But I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong in a little while, so I don't really remember in that. So basically what I remember, I've seen her in like 3 things, and I thought she's been pretty good in all of them. And this was no different, where I think that she was really good. She's gonna be in another Guy Ritchie movie in May, so I'm excited for that. And I thought that in this she was pretty good. It's getting a little loud, sorry. It just started raining. But I think the comedy really works, and like it has really, really funny moments, but it also has some dramatic moments where it can get emotional at times. I didn't like cry or anything, even though there are movies that make me do that. This one isn't one of those, but it is moments where you're just like, I like that they went for that and didn't make it like just a straight comedy. I think the action is really fun. You don't get as much as you would like, but the action is fun. But at the same time, when it's not action, it's character moments, and like they're just talking and everything, and I like all of them. So it's a really fun movie. And at the end, they leave it open where there could be a sequel. And I think a sequel would be really good because just the way they end it off, it's like, it's a pretty clear like end to the story, and like they don't need to make a sequel. But if they decided to make a sequel and pick up at the ending, I would love that because it would be nice to see more of these characters. The bad guys were pretty good. Nothing like spectacular or anything to write home about. I mean, they're mob guys. They're doing what they do best. Keith David plays like the main bad guy, and I thought he was pretty good. He's rumored to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and after this, I'm more excited to see him in that. Jimmy something with the T is in this. He was in Scream 7 as the opening kill. He's in this as a bad guy, and I thought he was pretty fun. Where I think I like him better in Scream 7 because his character's not like just this douche, but I think I liked him in Scream 7 a little bit more like character-wise, but in this he was probably funnier. And then you get Ben Schwartz in here in basically a glorified cameo. And what I will say is that he annoyed me a little bit. He's in the opening scene. Like, the opening scene is him. And when I first saw that scene, I was like, ah, crap, this movie is going to be worse than I thought it would be. Luckily, it saves itself and is a good movie by the end, where I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was a really good movie, but for some reason, that opening scene with Ben Schwartz, I was just like, please don't ruin this movie, because I really did not like it. And that, I haven't really seen him in much. The things off the top of my head I know I've seen him in is the Sonic movies, which I think he's fine in that, mostly because he's a voice. This, which I wasn't a big fan of, and Parks and Rec, which I also am not a fan of. His character in that show. I like the show. It's just his character inside of that show sucks. But this movie itself was a really pleasant surprise, where I was expecting a 3.5 movie where it's fun but not really anything else. And though I gave it 4, which isn't like a lot more, it still was a bit better than I was expecting, and it was a little bit more dramatic than I thought. And it was just more fun movie that I thought it would be. So I'm really happy about that. But like, all in all, Mike and Nick and Alice is a really, really fun time travel movie that I think that if you guys have time, I would watch it because it was really fun. And yeah. So that means that in the next couple of days, I hope I can get a video out tomorrow, but with everything with my schedule tomorrow, I don't know. But I will be doing a video for Daredevil Born Again Episode 2. There will be a video for Episode 3. There's the Super Mario Galaxy movie. There is the newest season of Ninjago, releasing half of the season, so I'll review that. There's a season of that Bad Guys television show, which I might do a longer video on, or I might just do one of the shorts. I might do a 4 or 5 minute video for it, but that one I'm not like really looking forward to. And then I don't know if there's another movie releasing this week or not, but there is multiple videos that will be releasing over the next couple days, I'm hoping. So stay tuned for that. If you watched Mike and Nick and Alice, tell me in the comments what you thought about it, because I thought it was really good. I would like to see if everyone else thought it was pretty good. And just stay tuned for all of that movie and TV show news. If you couldn't hear me, I would like to know, sorry about the rain. I didn't expect that. And but like, if the audio sucks and you just hear the rain more than me, in the comments, just tell me about it so I can make sure next time if it does start raining, just don't film. But hopefully you guys can hear me fine, and I will see you soon.